All right, looks like we are live. And hello, everyone. This is your captain speaking, black tie, black suit, and my ready ensign, Tim. Say hello, Tim.
Yeah, what up? What up?
What up? What up, y'all? Tim's excited. Tim's been chomping at the bit for this for a bit. He watched instead of just Broken Bow, he watched 5 episodes of this show. He just binged it.
Yeah, yeah, you had to tell me to stop because
I
I
did.
will binge things.
It's good though. I'm actually really happy that you're enjoying it. You're liking Enterprise, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, I am. Yep.
All right. Just so people who are only watching this show and not Star Trek, first, turn this off. Go watch Star Trek. Secondly, just so everyone knows, we in the first episodes we're watching in time a pseudo timeline order. So we started with the movie First Contact, and now we're going into Enterprise season 1, starting with episode 1. Enterprise was thought of as a prequel. They didn't even put it out when it originally came out with Star Trek on it. They just called it Enterprise and didn't even mention Star Trek, but everyone knew through the advertisement of the ship and everything. The idea was we've done starships, we've done star bases, let's do a star submarine, was how this was conceived. And so in this episode, we're going to be talking about time travel, different dimensions, Klingons, and pregnant men. It's going to be great. So you're
Yeah.
excited to get to that episode, aren't you? You're excited.
Yep. Yep.
Well, we got to start the beginning.
That's
Bro,
fine.
broken bow. Broken bow. You wanna sum up what your thoughts were, like a quick thoughts of the first episode of Enterprise?
First episode I liked a lot. And with just the how they started off with like a father and son moment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
With the whole like what was that? The
Oh,
toy ships,
yeah.
the spaceships, and getting to learn the characters, and then you kind of jet forward into like a full on Klingon and other alien war thing going on there.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that you said it like that. The Klingon and alien war. So this is the second Klingon you've met in Star Trek. The first one was Worf.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, and overall, like, did you like Worf?
yes,
Okay, cool, cool. Uh, this guy Clang is his name.
yes. Clang, I love Clang.
Clang.
Yes, yes.
My favorite line from, because it's like the two-parter, is when Trip and Clang are in the Suliban ship, and Trip just screams, "I don't like the way you smell either."
Yes, yes. That's a whole thing
That's just, yeah, it's
because
insane.
he's very intense and everything is like shouted words. By the way, I've recognized who plays Clang instantly because
Oh, who plays Clang?
huge Friday fan. So he also played Debo in Friday.
Yeah,
Tiny Lister Jr. Uh,
yes, he did.
I actually he actually attended my wife's church. The
Really?
man's big. The man's big. Yeah. Love the guy. Um, Rest in peace, by the
Oh,
way. But yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Dude, I was hoping you'd catch that. I wasn't even gonna mention it until like after this was done recorded, so you could like forehead slap.
Yeah. No. I was like, when it was playing, I'm like, wait a minute, that demeanor seems very
Yeah.
familiar, and then the tone when he was saying the thing seemed very familiar. You know,
Oh my god.
like that's my bike punk, and it's like similar to like Klingon. I didn't know this,
Yeah.
but then watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah,
Yeah. No, he was a big Trekker,
yeah,
man. He was a big
yeah.
Star Trek fan. And they asked him to get, like, that was like the celebrity pool other than the captain, Scott Bakula. That
Mhm.
was the celebrity pool of the initial episode, was those two guys.
That's
So
awesome.
it was so cool. And so, like, Tebow running through corn gets shot by a laser shotgun. Like,
Yeah.
you see the guy like load it by like slapping it on the butt.
Yes, yes, I did witness that, and also how they can get under doors and stuff. Oh, that part got to me. I was like, oh snap.
Oh, yeah, that was the race called a Suliban. Um,
Suliban. All right.
they, like, I don't know, and someone will probably correct me at some point, but I don't think they're in any other series. Um,
Hmm.
but they are in the online game, And a bit of history on them that is not explained in the TV show, but you can infer they don't have a home planet at all.
Oh.
Yeah, they live in those collective like ship hives, because they lost their home planet to like deathly poison or whatever. Like they industrialized too hard, and so they couldn't live on their planet anymore. And those abilities they have are not natural, and you'll find out who gives them those abilities later.
Yeah. Yeah, because it seemed kind of odd that some had some abilities and the one at the end had different abilities. But okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then like the girl one can like tell if you're lying by making out with you.
Yeah. There was that. Of course, that
How,
would be the way to find out if you're lying.
how horny was this episode?
A little bit. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
I like, okay, Star Trek has always had this really like undertone of like strange sexiness to it, but they just come out and be like, "Hey, she has pokies," and they're rubbing goo all over each other. And like,
yes, that's what
hour.
that's. So that right there, because at first I'm like, wait, which episode? I'm making sure that wasn't in the second. Yeah, when I realized that, I'm like, okay, y'all.
Yeah, I'm taking the first 2 episodes as one because it's one whole story.
Yeah.
But that could
so yes, that yeah.
That was okay. Let's go through some things because
we never rubbing each other's ears, so that was the thing.
You don't want to know what her ears feel like?
I mean, yeah, I just didn't expect it to happen so soon.
Yeah, he just like rubs them
with like barely any clothes on. It's like, oh, okay, this is happening.
Dude, and she didn't even blink.
Didn't blink.
Now, okay, let's go through like the main crew here. What do you think of the captain?
I like the captain, though. I do feel like, when he makes that decision of like, my way, no way, this is the way it's going to go type thing, which is very captain-y.
Yeah.
But which is totally a word. But anyway, so like I like him, and I could tell like a lot of the stuff he does is very human, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff. Yeah. So, but I feel like that kind of gets him into some things.
He has like a childlike wonder and ignorance of how dangerous the galaxy actually is. He's like, let's go out there. And
exactly.
I'm kind of on the side of the Vulcans, but I wish they would just explain it. They're like, don't. It's not a good idea. You're kind of stupid. And, and this is going to be something interesting because Picard, the previous captain, he was always in command. Like from cadet to captain, he was in the path for command always.
Okay.
And he was trained basically his whole life to be Picard at some point. Even the mistakes he made him like that. Janeway was a scientist from Voyager. Sisko was an engineer. Burnham was a scientist as well in Discovery, and Pike was also a captain. Same with Kirk.
Right.
This guy Archer is the driver. He just drives. He was a pilot. He has no background in anything else. He's dumb.
Okay.
He's dumb as hell.
Well, then there's that.
Yes. Yeah. This is the dumbest captain out of all of them, at least on paper. He is the dumbest one. Like he has no clue what he's doing. He's not a diplomat. He doesn't know he doesn't know anything other than how to fly things, which he
other than flying. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. So his stupid eagerness is just like adorable until it's not. But now, what'd you think of the engineer?
Oh, yeah, I like the engineer. It's funny about the so you're talking about, wait, what did you talk about, Trip? Or who did you talk about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I love Trip. He's also very human.
Dude, your homeboy's from Florida.
I know, right?
He eats catfish.
I know. Yeah.
He's a Jets
It's
fan.
like it really is like almost like a constant in an experiment. It's like, yeah, he's
just there.
He's very human.
Yeah, no, Trip is the everyman. He's the guy who has grease on his hands. He just wants to hang out, and it just ends up he's best friends with the captain.
Right.
So that's why he's along. He's like, oh, dope. Let's go hopping across the galaxy while I make this flying death tube super cool. Now, there's three more characters. The comm officer Hoshi. I don't like her.
I'm trying to think of the comm officer because
She's the one that learns
oh,
languages.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole, a little bit of a confidence thing, but I think it's funny once, they start getting into having to speak to,
Yeah.
these other species, and she's up to bat. Like,
Oh.
yeah, you already know.
Oh my god, yes. But like she's based. Do you know what a babblefish is by chance?
Not exactly, no.
Right. Okay, yeah, forgot. We're you're learning. A babblefish is from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's a fish you just shove into somebody's ear and they just know languages.
Oh, okay, got it.
That's her entire thing. She's this one-line joke out of a novel about from a guy who actually dislikes sci-fi, and her entire character is based off of that. She's a babblefish, and she's
Okay.
super. Like she's the thing is though, she's super useful. Like they don't let her go to waste, unlike another character we'll get to in a bit. But it's just like she always gets she's always like captured.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Like like take a drink every time you see her get captured. I'm gonna be serious about that. Next guy,
That's gonna be fun. Yeah.
the weapons officer, the British dude.
Yeah. Trying to think of his part in the first episode.
He hands a phaser to the captain.
Okay.
and tests the.
Oh, wait.
The
But in the later episodes, he's the one testing the
torpedoes.
The torpedoes.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think he's actually pretty funny when it comes to those torpedoes because like he was just so fixated on getting that right.
He's like Garrison
And like that becoming it's like my goodness. Just hit the things, or at least not. But
I swear he is Garrus from Mass Effect.
Yeah, pretty much.
He even has the hair slicked back so it looks like the bird points.
Yeah.
And then now there's one more character I want to know. Do you know who the last character of the main class is? That's not T'Pol, not your honey boo there.
Not exactly. There's a couple people I can think of, but
Who? Just
I'm not sure. Well, it was the two people that went along in the in the Strange New World. One of them was freaking out, and had to get sent back early. The other one was just pretty much done from the hallucinations, and
well, no. And
no,
okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this: you also forgot about the black guy.
No, that's the one that was tripping out in the hallucinations.
Oh, no,
when Trip was trying to.
I didn't think
Trip was trusting him. Trip was trusting him and trying to get him to wake up, and he wouldn't wake up for shit. It was like, nope, he was out. So that's the one I was thinking of because I think his conversations are pretty interesting because he talks about other species he be getting with.
Yes.
So,
but the thing is, after season 1, he's just there.
Right. No. I know, right? Yeah, because it's like, oh, he had his little spot on the ship that's like anti-gravity and stuff, and then yeah, he's just that guy that's like, hey man, wake up. Nah.
You get an episode with his family later on, and that's
okay.
It.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured that's how it goes for most things.
They also they secretly demote him at one point. Like in one episode, I think they accidentally give him an extra pip to lieutenant and then demote him.
Dang.
Dude, brother can't catch a break.
Yeah. That's real.
Now, last actual character is T'Pol, and you said you like this chick.
Well, I mean, it's growing on me. I hated her at first, right? But like, there's things that are making me like T'Pol.
Yeah.
And it might not even be for reasons that like most people would think.
Oh, why? Why are you liking her? Explain. I want to know.
Cause man, I feel like so you already know how like Vulcans are, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the one-liners between her and Trip, the relationship between her and Trip is the comic relief for me. Like it's hilarious whenever they get together like that. Their interactions are just
they're perfect.
Yeah, they're perfect. It's hilarious. So like them two together, like her by herself, yeah. I mean, I do. She's starting to grow on me for the simple fact that like the captain gives her like the dumbest orders and makes her follow them, and she knows better, and she doesn't rub it in everyone's face. She just does it, gets caught in a very stupid situation, and then no one talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
But let like trip out, and then all of a sudden she has a line for everything, and it's like, okay, yes,
Yeah,
and
she
she's delivering these like without like a smirk or anything. It's just perfect.
dude, she slaps him back with words constantly.
It's constantly, man. It's just it was some pretty good ones, man. It was yeah.
God, like what was the one where she's like cutting the bread or whatever? It's like with
Oh
patience anything's possible or something like that. It's like
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
the
yeah,
heck?
yeah. Though that I'm not gonna lie to you, at that point I hated her like instantly. I'm like, if you don't freaking pick that thing up, and I get it. I get you're a whole different species,
Yeah.
right? But like, nah, it's like the hard little breadstick, and she was just kept cutting it, and that was really, I don't know why that was getting to me so much, but it was. I was like, oh my god,
Vulcans don't
get
touch
away from
food,
this
Tim.
scene. I
Vulcans
know
don't touch food, Tim.
that's gonna be a problem with me, man. You know, sometimes you gotta get your hands dirty. Like, if I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, if
Yeah.
we're at an event and somebody starts cutting their fried chicken, like I might attack. Like that
Do it.
might just happen.
Do it.
It might
I
happen, bro.
want to
So,
see. I want to see. Oh my god, I almost forgot about the doctor. Phlox.
oh yeah, the doctor, bro. That doctor's hilarious too, in
Dude.
my opinion, because like the way he discloses information is like always like, oh, and by the way, there's this tragic thing that happens. It's like, bro.
I've worked with like in medicine with guys exactly like him, and they're wonderful to be around. He seems like a
Yeah,
delight.
yeah,
He
yeah, yeah.
he he. So his species though, uh, is interesting. They default to 3 husbands per 3 wives.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yes,
That's mm,
and it's just it works, and it's that will come up as the most silly plot point with Trip, and I'm excited for you to hear about it once we get there, because
yeah.
you're gonna lose your mind. But back to the actual episode. I have to rein us in somehow. Uh,
Okay.
back to the actual episode. There's this subplot that's introduced outside of, hey, we have to get Klang back to his family or empire or whatever, and that's the temporal Cold War. Like, what is going through your mind when you hear that?
So yeah, I found that that interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's like it to me in the episode, I feel like it kind of came out of nowhere. You're kind of thrust into this situation,
Right?
like you're trying to figure out what the heck. And but it's cool because it seems like the crew is trying to figure out what the heck.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's starting with Clang and the doctor, and they're like, "Yo, pretty much you got to kill him," and it's like,
Yeah.
"No," and it's like, "Well, this is what they want because dying in battle is like honorable, but
Oh,
like coming back a loser is not," and it's like,
yeah, but that's like that's a whole Klingon thing, and Archer, you'll as you watch more Trek, you'll realize how wrong Archer was to do that. Like that was like the rudest
yeah,
thing he could have ever done, and set the Federation, well, not even the Federation, that doesn't exist yet, set Starfleet back so many years with their relationships with the
I mean,
Klingons.
I had a feeling from everybody else's reaction, like, no, you're the one out of order here.
Yeah.
But you got to also understand that was a very human thing to do.
Oh yeah, and you can translate what the Chancellor says to Archer,
Mm,
because there's Klingon dictionaries. And I agree with Hoshi. You don't need to know, but it was basically like, yeah, get out of here, you. I can't even say words on this. This will no. I can't even say what he said. It's terrible. It's rude. And
yeah.
I'm with Kill Clang, but I would have totally murdered Clang.
Oh,
Um,
Clang's my boy.
yeah. So
But no, I get it.
who do you think that weird shadowy man that was talking to the Suliban was?
Uh, yeah, actually, I don't know. That's what I wanted to know, but I really don't.
All right. Cool.
know who that was.
I'm gonna ask you that every so often as we watch Enterprise.
Okay.
like just even in episodes that don't matter to the overarching plot, I'm just gonna hey, who's the shadowy guy?
Yeah, right.
Just
No, because I feel like it was sort of important, but
it's
yeah, I have no idea.
It's totally important. So that whole thing, there was so much thrown there, and the problem with this first episode is it doesn't answer anything. It doesn't do anything other than get them into space.
Right.
And immediately in episode 2, they'd come across a ship full of just dead people.
Yes, that was intense.
like
That was very intense.
Like holy crap, right?
Yes, very much so.
Like that, like so First Contact you can kind of be described as family horror, like, you know, spooky stuff like Jurassic Parky, you know, take your kids to get scared.
Right.
Yeah, Enterprise episode 1, super cutesy, super hopeful, really nice. Then they throw this crap in your face.
Yes.
like
Yep, went dark real fast.
No answers, no nothing. Like, the entire plot is they come across a bunch of dead people, try to leave, go back to try to bury the bodies, get attacked, and then leave again. Like, that's it. It's just a depressing as hell episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is there anything more to be said about fight or flight?
No, not too much, man. That was intense.
Yeah.
Like, I know the was it the demeanor of like the crew and stuff was, especially Archer was like very riled up by this. So
oh yeah,
understandably so.
You want to know the best part? You never find out what that was.
Yeah, because they were looking, they were like, who did this? Like, what's going on?
I mean, in all of Star Trek lore,
yeah,
you don't find that out. This situation just happened. There's nothing. Like, it's not the Gorn, it's not some crazy thing from the Delta Quadrant, it's just some psychotic ship that just went around and did this. And then never showed up again.
And then just bounced.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
Episode 3, Strange New World.
yeah. Strange New World, I liked it.
Yeah, that is, I would say Strange New World's a perfect example of good Trek.
Yeah, so this is where I start liking T'Pol. Why? Because they get to a different planet, very human-like to do when you see like, oh, grass, trees, air, water, Earth, we're good. And didn't even let her check and do her due diligence.
Dude, right?
And so yeah, it's like, oh, this is like a weird little storm happening, and then everybody's hallucinating and tripping balls. So pretty much, I'm like, the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, you probably should have let her check the environment first.
Oh, 100%.
Like, just let her check, bro. Y'all so eager to get off the ship and just explore. And it's like, and now everybody's in this situation, and not one person brings up, I know.
It's like you're shouting, "Don't go up the stairs."
Bro, I mean, one of your people almost died, which I was sure that they died. I'm like, yeah, they're gone. They made it seem like they died, and then at the very end, psych, no, they're not dead, but it's gonna take a while for them to recover. I'm like, I mean, all for a decision that you like made.
He took his dog to the planet, man. He took his dog.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. He keeps doing that, and that pisses me off.
So he doesn't learn his lesson. Okay, awesome.
None of them do. But
Lord.
Also, like, the whole transporter accident. This is your first transporter accident. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Everybody pops their first transporter accident cherry with a different series, and I'm happy with Strange New World because the freaking transporter is like manual in this. Like the rest of the series, like, you see a dude basically rub his face on a piece of glass and it works. This is like, did they feel the rocks go through the guy as they did this?
Yeah.
Like,
he became one with the environment and all the leaves and crap, so that was interesting.
And that's not even just his skin, on his insides.
Nah, on his insides too. Yeah.
Oh.
And then But yeah, so and then when they were hallucinating in that cave, that was great because I already knew that they were hallucinating when they
Oh,
were like, oh, well, because I could tell like when the little weird stuff was happening, they're like, you were talking to somebody, and then T'Pol's like, I'm telling you, I've not talked to anyone, and they kept seeing like little shadows. I'm
yeah.
like, yo, they're hallucinating in this cave, bro. This is not none of this stuff is real. And I'm wondering how far out. Like, I'm wondering if he's even talking to T'Pol or like if he's tripping in his own mind.
Oh, you were
So
going
it seemed like
there.
they were all. Yeah, I was going deep with it. I'm like, oh, they are like gone, but it turned out that they were all collectively tripping, and because
Yeah,
of Vulcan anatomy, T'Pol was tripping less, but still tripping because start resorting to
Vulcan.
native language and all that. So and my favorite part was the role playing because I'm like, you gonna ask a Vulcan
The
to
role.
role play?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
He
glad
did it though.
you did it. You're right on board. You were instant. I love how in you are with like understanding Vulcans instantly,
Yeah,
bruh.
yeah.
Dude. So continue. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you're good, man.
No.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, you're asking one of the most logical, literal people to role play, which is one of the most nonsensical things, and it worked. So I'm like, yo, hats off, right?
Right.
I mean, they make it back to the ship. I mean, because well, first of all, she had the stun trip,
Yes.
and they all were like, I hope she knows the difference between stun and kill, and I'm like, oh crap,
Dude.
this is gonna be the end of trip. But luckily, they all make it back to the ship, and I'm like, and no one brings that up, and it's like, yo, like anybody could throw that in the captain's face, like, no, you should have let me check, but
Uh,
no, he says, and
dude, it's
then we're
like
all there. Now I have to stun this dude. He says,
no, it's just like obviously you've never been to a separate planet.
right,
There's biology there that you will sneeze out your brain. Like
right,
if you
right.
and Trip, the worst part is Trip gets back up after this experience and goes and bangs a lady on a starship in the next episode.
Pretty much.
Yeah, dude. Now time for your favorite episode.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So like,
Unexpected.
yeah, unexpected.
Dude.
Man gets there to do a job to fix a ship of a poor group
Yeah,
that they've happed upon.
just a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, but he has to do some type of what was it? Not exactly a transformation, but I forget
A,
what that was he had to go through.
acclimatization, I think.
Yeah, acclimatization period that they were trying to rush.
Yeah.
He gets over on that ship, doesn't feel well. Every single person on the ship was advising him just to go lay down.
Yeah, no man, just take a break. We've been busted. You sleep.
Yeah, he would not do so
God.
for anything. And then calls Archer like, "Hey man, weird stuff is going on." And it's like, dude, they told you to lay down, and that becomes a whole thing.
Dude, he was just a whiny baby that entire time. And then like, okay, let me ask you this though. Cause you talking about this episode the other day, and I'm just gonna ask you a question. If you got on this ship to like, do your job there, like he's an engineer, you kinda work in the same field, you get the mentality. Taking a break with a coworker, you wouldn't stick your hands in some goo?
Nah, man. Well, so I get the conversations going back and forth and everything.
Yeah.
But so initially maybe, right? So what I say is because she's like, "Oh, let's play a game." Okay, yeah, we,
Yeah.
thinking she gonna break out a deck of cards or something, But nah, right? So there's this bowl, and she's like, "Okay, stick your hands in this bowl."
Yeah.
That's when I would have started questioning. Okay, what's all with this bowl? What's all, what game is this? How do we play, right?
Yeah.
But sticks his hands in. I would have been out soon as she starts reading minds.
Really? You're not about mind reading?
No, are
What
you
if I
serious?
what if I told
Because
you
look,
Vulcans can read minds?
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's funny.
No, they can.
Okay,
Yeah.
now yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind because that's great. Because look, man, So I already know. I already talked to you about this. So
Tell
many
me.
like
Tell me.
inappropriate conversations pop off in my head. I don't need you to know everything that pops off into my head. I say half of them, and half of them are dumb. So that should just tell you
Yeah, but
about what's going on in my brain. So I'm sitting there thinking like, anything.
any
He could be thinking anything.
yeah. Well, she calls him on it. She's like, "You find me attractive." Like she straight up says
Right. But it could have been way more vulgar than that. And then it's like, okay, well then there's this.
it.
I don't know. I take it back to like a Chappelle skit, right?
Yeah.
Where, because there was a movie about like, I think it was a man reading all the women's minds and stuff, and there
Oh
was a
yeah.
movie on it, right?
What Women Want starring
So
Mel Gibson.
Chappelle, yeah, exactly. But so Chappelle did it the opposite with women reading men's minds just in the elevator. She was disgusted in the first 3 seconds. So it kind of took my mind to that. I was like, oh, this is a bad idea.
Yeah, but at this point in time, humans are elevated and enlightened and not idiots. Oh wait.
Right. They're still humans, right? You talking about Trip from Florida, my boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Jets fan. Yes.
Exactly. So come on now.
So I'll say this. It's not just Archer. This crew is the dumbest crew out of all of Star Trek.
Yeah.
But
I'm starting to gather.
I'll give them this. They're also the first crew, technically. So
Okay.
like they're
Okay.
there to make every mistake, and all the rules are written because of stuff they did. Like they even mentioned what's called the Prime Directive, which at this point doesn't exist, but it's how you do first contact with the species.
Okay.
So, and then also the Minchara class planet, this entire situation is actually read by cadets in Starfleet of why you don't just beam to a planet. So,
Oh, okay. Yep,
so
yep.
every single one of these things that you're seeing are like, every episode is answering a question of why other Star Trek did weird things, and every episode answers in some way a question. Whether it's like a really deep lore question or just like surface level stuff of like where they go to the bathroom and what do they do with the waste. Like
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Now, if you were to tell your mom that you're pregnant, would she react the same as that Klingon?
More than likely, yes. Well, my mom, I don't know, because then she might get excited. She loves babies. I don't know. It'd be a whole thing. But I know for a fact that, for one, my dad would, or at least how it happened.
It's
Yeah, it
jetting
would
out
be
of
a
your
whole thing with
kidney.
my family.
Yeah, it's jetting out of your kidney right there. It's a little like
Yep.
lizard
Yep.
person.
Yep, and those lines from T'Pol, that's where I really was like, okay, yep, I rock with this person, because like
Dude.
she was talking about like meeting her parents, and you were only on there for 3 days, and it was amazing. She was going in with both feet.
Dude, she was going in with the zingers, and it's just like dude, how do you get pregnant through your fingers?
Yeah. The whole cast was going in, bro.
Dude, it was so good. Like overall though, Tim, like what do you think, man, of Star Trek so far?
Oh, I'm loving it. Yeah, I can't wait to watch more.
All right. Well, guess what you get to do? You get
Watch
to
some more.
You get to watch some more Terra Nova. I'll
Yeah.
give you up to the episode Fortune's Son.
All right.
Cuz after that, then the season 1's tone changes a little bit. But I want to get through some fun stuff there, so you can watch up to episode 9 for the next episode.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit the stop streaming button. You stay right here, Tim. And everyone else, follow the links down below. Pat Tim on the head. Live long and prosper. Whatever you want to say.